Bernard, 3-1 defeat today. What did you make of that game?
Well, we're always disappointed, aren't we, first and foremost, to lose a game, especially when it's at home and you've not won at home. But I think, the biggest thing for me was the way we started the game, our application, everything was too slow. When you're playing against the side that have travelled 4.5 hours on a coach, you've got to throw everything at them in the first 15, 20 minutes. We then found ourselves, after 20 minutes, we had a 50-minute spell where we looked very good. We scored our goal. We had a couple of moments where I think we should have done better. Decision making in their final third, when we've in the turnover where we could have exposed them, but we didn't. And fair play to Watford for recognising where they could hurt us, and they did that really well, and was rewarded 47th minute with an equaliser on the stroke of half time, which kills our momentum, and everything changes in terms of, not necessarily everything, that's probably wrong, but there was going to be information that we was going to get onto them at half time, 1-0 up at the time, and we believe if we'd have got that information over, then it could be a different game. However, fair play to Oxford, they recognised that, they was rewarded. We've come out second half, we've had a glorious opportunity. I think it was Brad Bosco off a corner, second phase, should score, have to score. We weren't, and when you give these sides momentum and a platform to do what they're good at, don't be surprised if they're successful in what they do, and they recognise where to hurt us, and they're rewarded with that.
Obviously, you say right before half time they score a big goal. It's almost a double hit as Ollie Thornley went off at half time. Was that a forced change?
Let me ask you a question. What do you think? Do you think it was a forced change? Absolutely. Why would we take our left centre half off that's been outstanding the last 2 games when you want to look at home? You don't do it. And I understand you've got to ask me that question. The reason Ollie's come off today is that he's probably played 3 games in 7 days. His body's letting him know that, and what he didn't want to do is have a setback. People forget Ollie was on the pitch when we conceded the goal. You know that, don't you? He was actually on the pitch when we conceded the first goal. Down his side, Richard comes out, he comes over, and they score. Ollie's a massive player, and we've heard a couple of things shouted. You should never have took Ollie off. We don't take our best players off. We only take them off if they're injured. And Ollie was the one that come to us and said, "Listen, Gaffer, I'm struggling a bit. I don't want it to go." Okay. What we then got to do is recognise how to replace that. And we have, in terms of Scott Duxbury, we have that balance, which is perfect. So I can see people's frustrations that all of a sudden Ollie comes back into the team and we win 2 games and then he goes off and we lose. I get it. I totally get it. But before you start screaming and shouting and asking questions, let's understand why before they come out. And we always say it. I'll go in the bar now and explain why we made a substitution. And if that's the reason we've lost, then that's on Ollie for getting injured. So, but no, we think we just overworked him over the last week, and his body took his toll.
Is it frustrating when you go off the back of 2 clean sheets and then a couple of mistakes that we saw earlier in the season start to creep back in, and we resultantly concede a few goals and end up losing the game?
Really frustrating, yeah. Because I think in football, when you go to Brackley and you go to South Shields, I don't think you're expected to win. Especially when you've not won in 10. I don't think you're expected to win. What we did at Brackley was unbelievable. I thought our shape, I thought in transition was brilliant, I thought our work off the ball was class. And we went with a game plan and it was executed. We went to South Shields off the back of travelling to Brackley, and as managers you make excuses, not to the players, we keep it internal between myself and Jono. We've been to Brackley, we've worked hard. Can we go and do the same thing in less than 72 hours? The answer was yes at South Shields, we did that, and we found a way to keep a clean sheet. Here's the difference, I think. Brackley and South Shields was in a low block against us. Today, Oxford weren't. Oxford pressed from the front. And when you've gone from playing 2 games and having loads of ball at the back and giving yourself a platform and confidence to build on, to then go into an Oxford side that are hybrid and will work on that 3-4 times a week, I think that's the difference from my side. And they've shown us no respect, which I don't think they should. They pressed well and they caused, and they was rewarded that with a 3rd goal. If you allow us to have the ball, we will hurt you. If you press and you make that mistake, then don't be surprised. So fair play to them for that. But yeah, the answer is we're definitely frustrated that we keep 2 clean sheets in the space of 200 minutes and then at home we concede 3 individual errors. We didn't make mistakes in our last 2 games. We didn't make a single mistake. But today we've made 3 or 4, and on 3 of them we've been killed with that.
Obviously, it's a quick turnaround to the rescheduled Buxton game in midweek. No training session in between now and then, and all reports say that they've looked really good attacking, especially today with 7 goals. How do you pick the players up after today and set them up for the next one?
First and foremost, we say to the players, if you'd have offered us 6 points out of the previous 9, we'd have snatched your hand off. So first and foremost, don't go away beaten up. Be disappointed that we've not won, but don't overthink it. We look tired today. We looked tired, and that's the first time I've stood here and said that. We looked tired, and people will say that's just normal off the back of them 2 away games. I don't really want to make excuses like that. I think if you're tired, put your hand up and say, I'm working at 7% today, Gaffer, and don't con us. But because it was 3 or 4 and 4 or 5, and you look at your bench and you've got 3 or 4 that have, had long injuries, it was a tough one today. Does that change from now till Tuesday? Probably not, no. But we've got to make sure we do the right things from now till then. The information from our side will be that we'll watch Buxton, and yes, they've scored 7 goals today, but I think that's the first time this season they've looked that strong. But for us, they've been to Chester, won 1-0. They've now beat Needham Market 7-1 at home. They're in a position like we were in today. Coming into that, can they make it 3? We've got to make sure that we don't lose the game Tuesday night, and we played them at their own game, and it's got the makings of being end to end. I said this against might have been. I don't know who it were, but it's got the makings off paper of being an end-to-end game, because they'll come here, they'll recognise that we've conceded 3 goals, and they'll smell blood.